Hello, teachers and staff. My name is Naralis Pagan, and I'm a VCS. I am also a grade 4 remote teacher. In this lesson of Module 5, Lesson 26, with the title of Compare Fractions Greater Than 1, I'd like to present to you a scaffold or a support tool that can be utilized for your students in the launch or the application problem. In each module PowerPoint located in Teach Hub, you will notice that there are engaging multilingual learners suggestions. On this particular lesson, you'll notice it in slide 7 and in slide 8. On slide 8, you will also notice the implementation guidance for MLLs or ELLs. So for our ELLs, in our slides, there are also individual implementation notes for the individual slides. In this lesson, it is suggested that students might have difficulty starting this task. So the suggestion is to invite them to work in pairs to activate their prior knowledge. So I will be showing you also a support tool that can be used in your class or in your remote classes to promote collaborative learning and also partnerships for your students. In this lesson, located on slide 17, is the introduction or the launch, and also in slide 16. You'll notice the introduction and the launch might be difficult for your multilingual learners. So as a support tool, we are asking that you create collaborative groups or cooperative pairs. Also, we are suggesting that the students use the 3 reads strategy in order to create or complete their application problem or the introduction or launch solution. So I have created a Google Jamboard that can be used in the place of this slide. The Google Jamboard, in my previous lesson, I presented to teachers. The Google Jamboard, one is one slide that can be used or multiple slides. You can place this in your Google Classroom and place edit when you would like students to work together. So as you notice in my Google Classroom, I have placed the Module 5, Lesson 28, Application Problem or Launch. I've placed the Google Jamboard and I've placed Edit. Once I have this Google Jamboard in my classroom, I can use each slide for one student, 2 students, or multiple students. If I'd like to use partnerships for my ELLs, then I'll write 2 names on each slide. When students use this in a live math session and open the Google Jamboard, students will be able to see themselves and their partners as they're writing and as they're working live. This creates collaborative pairs or partnerships where ELLs can have a lot of support for language, for math concepts, and for math processes. So let's take a moment just to look at this Google Jamboard. In this Google Jamboard, there are several supports. First, there's a live image of a measuring cup. Also, here's the 3 reads in Spanish, and this slide is also in Spanish as a support tool of students that you may have where their home language is Spanish. This is slide 2. In slide 1, which is the English format, the 3 read strategy is placed with images of support, but you'll also notice that there's sticky notes on the left. For teachers who have not yet used Google Jamboard, sticky notes are like Post-its in our notebooks where we placed on our teachers or placing on your students or students also playing Post-its on each other's work. Here, these Post-its can be used or sticky notes after each read. So in their first read, when they indicate what's happening in the story or make a mind movie, they can click on the sticky note. The sticky note will open and they will be able to write what they think is happening in the story. After they have read the story a second time, they can ask what the question is asking you and answer on this sticky note. They can open by double clicking on the sticky note and then write what they would like. And finally, on read 3, there's a final sticky note. A suggestion can also be for teachers is that by clicking on the sticky note, if students want to have more than one sticky note for them and their partner, they can click on the sticky note and use these 3 dots. The 3 dots will suggest if they would like to edit or duplicate. Once they place another copy or a duplicate, there are 2 sticky notes for 2 students. Also, I invite teachers to explore all the features on the left-hand corner. Students may click on the pen so that they are writing. Students may have an eraser. They have a pointer. Students can also add any sticky note on the page that they would like. There are also images. Images can be easily clicked and dragged or use a Google image search or their own drive to add images. Finally, we'll notice that students might want to, instead of adding an image, they might want to create their own image using the shapes feature. And there's a shapes feature here where students can utilize to create a tape diagram or an area model when showing or modeling the fractions. Finally, a text box, and my favorite feature of all is the laser. When we have the laser, as we're doing this in our Google Classroom, in my own remote class, I might want to have the students focus on a certain area of the problem as we're doing our reads. So if I'm focusing on the question, I can use the laser to highlight the question. If I'm focusing on our third read with numbers or quantities, I might want to highlight that with my laser as well. If I'm considering what's happening in the story, I might want to highlight the characters or the items that I like my students to use as they visualize the topic. So again, this is a support tool that you may use for the launch or the application problem. Here is the application problem, a scaffold for the 3 reads, both in English, and a tool where students can use to collaborate through the 3 reads. Slide number 1 is written in English, and slide number 2, both the application problem, the 3 reads poster, and the sticky notes are also in Spanish. I'm also attaching a poster or the Google drawing of the 3 reads in Spanish and 3 reads in English. Please feel free to use this 3 reads poster as a support tool for the launch problems or the introduction, or as others may use, the application problem in your module lessons each day. Again, this is Ms. Pagan. Today, I have just shown you a support tool or a scaffold, which is just an example of the implementation guidance for MLLs or ELLs. The suggestion is to have students work in pairs. Also, the suggestion here is to have students use their home language. So feel free to use the Google Jamboard. I have created one in English and in Spanish, and the 3 reads posters, both in English and in Spanish, as a support tool. Thank you again, and I look forward to your suggestions in our YouTube channel for the VCS program.